What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Kedman Sports. Today we're going to be going off of another comment request for a team using the musical note logo. So I kind of gave a spoiler in yesterday's video of what this team is going to be. I had mentioned that I was going to try to create something for it. What that was going to be kind of jazz, kind of spelled out for it to use on the helmet rather than using the musical note on the helmet. As it turns out, it's really hard to make cursive Z's in the logo editor, so I'm just going to opt to use the default that the game gives you. So as I said, this team will be called the Jazz, and we're going to put them in New Orleans. So they will be the NOLA Tech Jazz. Team abbreviation, you can't put NOLA in there, you can only use 3 letters. So we'll just go with NO, and then state will be Louisiana. And then the colors, I just kind of match. If you look at the logo, there's obviously the black, but they also have the kind of blue and yellow, which actually turned out to be pretty close to the San Diego Chargers colors. So that's going to kind of turn into our theme throughout this team as we keep on creating them through. So as we transition over to the helmet, as I said, we're going to use that musical note on each side of the helmet, just because, like I said, it's going to be really hard to create anything like spelling out jazz unless you use kind of the default fonts, which doesn't look too great, I don't think, for a helmet, unless you're doing some specific design, which we aren't doing. So for the helmet color, I'm going to keep it white. For the face mask, you could do pretty much any of the colors that are in this color palette. I'm going to go with kind of the yellow. If you think of the Chargers' new uniforms, they kind of changed their face mask to this yellow color. So we're going to do that as well here. And then for the stripe, we're going to put yellow on the inside with the blue on either side of it. One thing that I think I've kind of talked about with socks, but I also believe it to be true with the face mask color, is that center stripe kind of, I look at it as pouring into the face mask. So if you can make that the same color as the face mask and the center stripe the same color, it has a kind of cool effect. So then for the caption, we're going to put NOLA across the chest. And then for the font, we're going to use this kind of Z1000, I believe it is what it is, the last font alphabetically. And the reason being is I, for some reason, wanted to use kind of a thinner font for this team. I don't really have a reasoning behind it. I just kind of haven't done it recently and thought, why not? So that's kind of why we're using this font for this team. No really special reason or anything like that. So then for the jersey itself, we're going to kind of use that powder blue color going along with that Chargers theme. And then for the stripes, we'll go white on the inside and then yellow on the outside. So once you see this stripe, you're going to kind of notice something. The yellow and the white kind of blend together. That if you look at it in one way, it looks all white, but then when you look at it in another way, it can look all yellow. I actually kind of like this effect for some reason. It just kind of works well, but it also doesn't take away from the uniform. It's just kind of a cool effect that I think that when you use the white and the yellow together like this. So then for the collar, we're gonna put yellow there as well, and then for the number, I'm gonna keep it white and just put a black outline on it. I think using a yellow outline would make it kind of like the sleeves and difficult to read. And I think that if you made the font yellow, you're going to run into a whole different trouble. So just keeping it white with a black outline is going to probably be the easiest in terms of readability. And then from there, we'll transition over to the pants. Now with the pants, kind of the same thing as the number almost. I think yellow is just going to be a little too much, and I don't think an all blue uniform is going to look too great either. So we're just going to keep white pants through this uniform and then make that stripe on the side of the pants the same as the helmet. I think in terms of visibility and what you can see and what clashes, this is kind of the best way to use these colors is on a white palette as much as you can. So then for the socks, we're going to use, the band is going to be that blue and then the stripes are going to be that yellow to kind of create a cool effect similar to what the jersey looks like. So from there we'll transition over to the away jersey, and it's going to kind of be a lot more of the same. And so as I'm making this away jersey, I'm going to touch on a few other things since we've kind of already talked about everything we're going to do here. I saw in the comments in the last video asking, can you do a matte finish or a camouflage finish or something like that. Unfortunately, this game kind of restricts those creative ventures you might want to try on a helmet, especially because I think a matte helmet would look really cool in this game, but unfortunately with what the game gives you, you don't have a finish. And so when you create a team and you put them into a game scenario, the helmet almost looks like a lightning finish, if you're not quite sure what I mean. Think of like Bowling Green currently has a lightning orange helmet. That's the first one that comes to mind for me. I'm pretty sure Oregon has had a couple different Lightning helmets, but if you Google it, a Lightning finish is actually a really cool finish, and it's kind of up and coming. But for this game, you can really only just use that default finish. So going back to this team, as you can see, we're going to be doing pretty much a whiteout uniform. The jersey is resembling the helmet, which is then going to resemble the pants, and then we're going to keep the socks pretty much the same as the home uniform. So this is one of the few teams where I really didn't do a whole lot different on the away uniform, just because I do think that this color palette is kind of restrictive in what you are able to do with it. However, I do like this color palette. The powder blue uniforms for the Chargers are one of my favorites, so to be able to replicate that in this game and then add some of my own thoughts into it was a lot of fun. So thank you for the suggestion on the logo. Keep dropping suggestions in the comments, and I'll keep trying to do my best to live up to your expectations. But as always, we're going to be coming to a close here, so thank you for watching. Go ahead and subscribe, turn on notifications, give it a thumbs up, and all that. And we'll have a lot more teams in store, and hopefully you guys can continue to give me ideas. Thanks.